I would envy those other people. It would be real hard for me to make that phone call to my best friend and to call Kim and be like, Kim, guess what? 9 other people are living. I'm dying in about 2 weeks. But Lou Gehrig was such an unselfish person, and he had such joy for these other people, and he wanted his friend to feel joy, and he wanted his friend to be happy. He wanted to deliver good news to his friend. His whole point of that phone call was to give joy to his friend. So what did he focus on?
Joy.
His friend's joy. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a friend. Giving to other people. The apostle also wrote in Philippians 2:3-4, he says, "Do nothing out of selfishness or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves." Do you know I need to read that again? Because I don't have eye contact for this front row, and I need y'all to hear this. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Do I need to break that down?
Yes. Yeah.
Don't do anything because you're full of yourselves. Do you guys understand that?
Yep.
Okay, my boys, don't do anything out of cockiness. Don't do anything because you think you're all that in a bag of chips. You got that? Do I need to add a snap to it?
I'm Doritos.
I don't care if you're a bag of Doritos,
I'm spicy.
Lay's baked spicy chips,
I am a box of cream cakes.
a box of cream cakes with cherry on
Great
top.
Valley brand of
Right.
cookies.
Bring it back. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourself. Yes, I'm talking about that girl that looks funky across the classroom.
I love her. What's its guy?
And the guy that looks funky across the classroom.
I'm not talking about me, are you?
Each of you should look not only to your own interest, but also to the interest of others. In other words, guess what? Care more about other people than you care about yourselves. That's not easy to do. And I'm being real serious with you guys. I know we're kind of being lighthearted tonight, but I'm being really serious. Care more about others than you care about yourselves. Some of you need to ask yourself, why do I come to church on Wednesday nights? To fellowship? Is that okay? Is it? Yeah, that's okay. To eat? Is that okay? Sure, we have food. That's okay. To listen to Amanda preach?
No. Come closer to God.
Yeah, that's okay.
I remember that.
That's okay.
You can talk to
Right?
God and stuff at home.
To tell your parents you went to church?
No.
Yeah, that's okay.
I've seen it.
I guess, right? All those are okay reasons. Should the real reason have anything to do with you?
No.
No. In honesty, your Christian walk shouldn't have anything to do with you. Your Christian walk should be all about furthering the kingdom of God. Remember I preached a couple of weeks ago about your Christian walk? If it's all about you, that's not a Christian walk. The second you invited Christ to come into your life, it has to stop being about you. And it has to start being about Him. And what He commands us to do is to start turning on your God filter. For those of you who don't know what a God filter is. A God filter is, it's a God filter. It's where it's like, when photographers, they put those lenses on their cameras, and it helps them see the world in a different way, right? They might put on that lens that makes the world look soft, the fuzzy lens. You put on that God filter, and it helps you see people the way God sees them. Because let me tell you, when God looks at me, He doesn't see the Amanda that the world sees. Because the Amanda that the world sees, every one of you sees a different me. Right?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, the Amanda that my ex-husband sees is not the Amanda that you see. Let me just tell you that right now. It's a different Amanda.
You have a husband?
I have an ex-husband. Yes, I do.
She talks about him.
The Amanda that the people I went to high school see, not the Amanda that my youth group sees. preconceived notions about me. The Amanda that I see when I look in the mirror, not the Amanda that you see. The Amanda that God sees is not the Amanda that any of us see. Because he sees the Amanda that he created. That's what we have to do when we look at other people. We have to put on our God filter. And we have to try to see other people as a creation of God. We have to look past all of their imperfections. We have to look past all the things that annoy the heck out of us. And they do, and I'm not lying, right? People annoy me. They do. Man, people get on my nerves. I'm not going to say they don't. There are some teachers I just like, oh my gosh, really? There are some of you that I'm just like, I see your number pop up and I'm like, oh my gosh, really? I love Jesus, I love him. I love him. I love him, God. I love him. I have to remind myself that I love you guys. And I do love you. But I have to look at you through my God filter. I have to remind myself. And you guys have to do the same thing with me. Because I'm sure there are some days, right, Taylor? When I don't text you back for like 5 hours. She's got to put on her... I was sick this week and the poor darling was texting me. And I didn't respond like I should have because I was hacking my lungs up. And she was so sweet. She was a good friend this week. Her and Kim were the only ones that noticed that something was wrong with me this week. And she texted me. And she said, are you okay? Totally not so. I didn't respond to her in need text. I didn't do anything a youth pastor should do this week. She noticed. And she said, are you okay? And let me tell you, that text was more powerful than anything. Because someone other than my best friend noticed that something was wrong with me. That was amazing to me. She was a good friend. We're going to move on. The second thing you got to really look at is that when you begin to forget your own problems, guess what happens? Things kind of start to get better for you. So when you start getting concerned about other people, all of a sudden those things that you're concerned about with yourself, guess what happens?
My rest is going to float away.
They kind of start to seem smaller. I don't know if y'all realize or not, but I have some major stuff going on in my life that y'all don't know about. It's major. Major, major, major stuff. Major stuff. And I hide it really well from you guys because I'm not going to burden you guys with it. But I find when I focus on, can I use you? Taylor's problems, it makes me forget for a while about mine. Does it make my problems go away? It's not going to make my problems go away. They're still there. Doesn't make people start acting right. Doesn't make finances line up. It doesn't make, people who I want to act right. But it makes me not focus and get so bogged down in the day-to-day functions of my life. Because let me tell you, it's real easy to get caught in that pit that you live in. And some of us live in pits. We do. Because that's the nature of our lives. That's the hand we've been dealt. We live in those pits. When you're trying to claw your way out, I know some of you don't believe me right now. And some of you are thinking, yeah, right, you're calling, well, I'm not going to use the word. But I know what you're thinking. I'm telling you, there's no better way to lift yourself up than to think about somebody else and get the focus off of your own problems for a while. Especially if you've been focusing on your own problems for a really long time and nothing seems to be getting better. Because here's also what happens. When you start focusing on other people, guess what other people start doing to you? Other people start focusing on you. When you start giving, something miraculous happens and other people start giving to you. It's this cycle that happens. It's a really great thing called friendship. In Isaiah chapter 58, 10 through 12, the prophet says, if you spend yourself on the behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness, and your night will become like the noonday. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs and strengthen your frame. So what does that say in a nutshell? Exactly what I just said. When you spend your time and your energy on other people, God will spend His time and His energy on you. I want God spending His time and His energy on me. I don't know about you guys, but I want Him spending His time and His energy uplifting me. So the next thing is we need to offer our sincere encouragement to others. In verse 20, Paul says, I have no one else like him, talking about Timothy, who takes a genuine interest in your welfare. The New American Standard Version translates it into saying, I have no one else of kindred spirit. And what's interesting is, when you look at the two Greek words that make it up, it actually means same soul. So what is Paul saying here? You guys are looking at me like I'm crazy because I just used the word, I just said translation, and I said Greek words, and now you all say, oh my gosh, she's talking crazy talk. I'll break it down.
It is crazy talk.
I know. Paul is saying, I have this friend who is of the same soul as me. We think alike. He is my blood brother. That's essentially what he's saying. We're like the same person. And I am willing to give him over to you to make sure that you're okay. Do y'all know that we have different levels of friendship? I'm sure you guys know that, right? The majority of your friends fall in that acquaintance range, right? The casual friendship. Because the majority of your friendships fall in that what? You say hi, you say bye. Someone says, how you doing? What do you say?
Good, how are you?
Good, fine. It doesn't matter how you're doing. You could be having the most craptastic day ever, and what do you say? Fine. Because why? You don't want them to know any personal details of your life. Because you have that wall. No one's going to get in. That's where 99.9% of the people in your life fall outside of. That wall. Some of us have a few close friends. I wouldn't even say a few. Some of us have a couple or uno close friend. Yeah, one or two. If you're lucky. Some of you have none. And that's sad. You need a close friend. And the close friend is that person that you actually do kind of share stuff with. Maybe not everything, but you share some stuff with. You let them in a little bit to that inner wall. Very few people on this planet have that same soul kind of friend. Very, very few people. And when you have that same soul kind of friend, you hold on to that person with dear life. Because if God blesses you with a same soul kind of friend, it's tremendous. These are the people that it's almost scary when you get together because you think alike, you talk alike, right? You don't even have to have known each other for very long, and you know, you're like soul sisters. I mean, you just,
I'm not a girl.
I don't know what you brothers call it, but you're soul sisters for us females. I mean, you just,
We're hoping.
Brother from another mother.
brother from another mother, is that what you call it?
No.
You're a brother from another mother. But you know what I'm talking about. Very few people get to experience that.